We'll continue with Mississippi State following the first round matchup. For our media in attendance, please raise your hand if you have a question, and a mic will be brought with you. Please state your name and affiliation. And then for those joining via Zoom, please use the raise your hand functionality, and we will call on you. We'll begin with an opening statement from Mississippi State head coach Sam Purcell before moving to questions for our student athletes Anastasia Hayes, Alana Smith, and Ncaa Jordan. Coach?
Talk to me nice, but most importantly, talk nice to them. All right, what a special group of young women. Like I keep saying, I'm coaching. I've got the best seat in the house. They've got that look. We talked about coming up here and getting that championship DNA. Annie talked about it after we had those 2 losses, that, we had a bad taste in our mouth. And you got 2 ways you can do things. You either can say, man, we're not good, or you know what, we got to roll up the sleeves and look in the mirror. And where you have looked in the mirror, we've got great chemistry, but most importantly, we believe in each other, and we just got a special thing going on. We have so much respect for Creighton. That was a huge game. I know we probably watch more film in 24 hours than we have ever, because that's how much respect we have for that program. So for us to be in the hotel with a quick turnaround like we're on right now, and a roller coaster like no other, but being able to be locked in, I couldn't be more of a proud coach.
We'll begin with questions for our student athletes Anastasia Hayes, Alana Smith, and Ncaa Jordan.
Ncaa, the Creighton players and coaches were just in here, and they were talking a lot about, how much emphasis they had on, trying to slow down Jessica in the paint. Was that something you guys anticipated, and did you know that, knocking down threes would be a place you guys would have opportunity?
Definitely. We knew that coming in, Jess had a good first game, and that the attention was going to go to her. Props to Jess by noticing that, they were going to double team her, which just leave opportunity for the guards to just knock down shots, and she made it easier for us tonight.
Justin Fromer, Commercial Dispatch. Ncaa, you guys had more threes today than you had in the past 2 games combined. With that, is it that just confidence, or is there more to it with knocking down 3-pointers?
I'll say confidence, but I'll also say just playing together. When we share the ball, we're as good as anybody in the country. Dang, I lost it. So, but just creating space for each other, knowing when to make the extra pass, make the pass to the other teammate, and just props to my teammate for knocking it down.
Gracie Barr at WCBI. Debrisha opens the game with those 2 3-pointers. Kind of from there, did you guys know you were going to get rolling? I know, Anastasia, you also had one shortly after that.
That definitely kind of turned us up a little bit, I'll say. But we knew it was still going to be a dogfight, and that was just a great start, honestly. But we knew it was going to be a dogfight.
Anastasia, I guess for you, kind of what did you see from what they were doing defensively, and how were you kind of able to exploit what they were trying to do? I think you had 7 assists it was today.
I saw they were trying to sag it off, so making that first 3 is kind of what got me going. I knew once I made one, they didn't know if I was going to shoot or drive, and I was driving to kick and look for my teammates. I was finding the open reads, and I knew they were going to knock them down, and I know that I'm going to make a good pass for them to knock it down.
For any of you guys, when you guys go into the half up 10, just what's the message coaching staff gave at that point?
I'll start. Just to stay composed, know that it's 0-0, and the first 5 minutes of the third is very important. Like we said, Creighton is a great team, and just keep our foot on their necks and understand that what got us to that point, we had to keep going.
And not to let up.
For Anastasia and Ncaa, last season was obviously a tough season for y'all, and Coach Purcell came in and, he kind of said that message of why not us. I guess it's one thing for him to say that, but what was it about, this team after the struggles of last season that you guys were able to, truly buy into that and believe in that?
I wasn't happy with how we ended last year, but, why not us? I'm surrounded by great players, and, with our team, we have multiple people who can score, multiple people who can do different things, and, we've been the underdog all year, so why not us?
You talk about being the underdog all year. You dropped that first SEC tournament game and then have to play in the play-in game and now upset in the tournament. I guess, how do you guys feel just hearing all of that and where you started and where you are now?
I think that kind of adds fuel to our fire. we don't mind being the underdog. I think it makes us work harder and understand that there's a lot at stake. But we love being the underdog. I mean, it's great. The pressure's not on us, so we're able to play free, play confident, and play for each other.
Anastasia, Alana, Jaquila, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good job.
Questions for Coach?
Naturally, the first question I have is, are there any new additions to the list?
Let me give it, I need, real quick, I have the Talk to Me Nice list, and let me give a shout-out list. Katie Smith, all right? I saw you on social media, all right? I think she currently works with the Minnesota Lynx, right? Katie Smith, thank you for believing in the Bulldogs. So I definitely want to give her a shout-out. But again, I'm with Alana. I've got some dogs in that locker room, some Mississippi State Bulldogs. And we love playing the underdog role. And again, we're taking it one game at a time. I told them, enjoy this in the locker room. Go back to the hotel. We're going to have a nice meal. And then we got to repeat the same behavior. What are you willing to sacrifice? How much film can you watch? Because it's going to be an absolute battle here. I've played here several times. This is one of the best environments in women's basketball, and they have some of the best fans in the country.
And then, as a longtime coach, are there certain stats that you identify as we need to win this category to pull off an upset?
You know what? That's a great question. For me, and one of the questions earlier talking about the Texas A&M loss, honestly, I wasn't about a stat. I was about a look. I know my team. That's why I keep saying I said, why not us when I had it on paper. I knew how special they could be, but I told everybody it was going to take time. I'm some of their coaches, their fourth or fifth head coach. And even though they're playing basketball, that's a lot. So for me, you're seeing all the hardships because people have wrote, man, why they look so bad, or man, they couldn't pull off this victory. But this team just believed behind closed doors. They stayed the path and they had faith. And I told them, when you get here, somebody like Creighton, who I think they went Elite 8 last year, all right, and brought everybody back. They have a championship DNA. And I told them, if you want to try to knock off a heavyweight, you got to have a look. So for me tonight, it was all about a look, and I couldn't be more happy for how hard they played. What was that look? That look is just, you know what, we had to call a timeout in the second half, 6-0, and the huddles were okay. There wasn't panic. There wasn't pointing fingers or getting mad. It was like, okay, let's get a stop, score, stop. Also at halftime, like Alana alluded to, there was dialogue. I told you the best practice I had this year is we brought out a circle of chairs and we talked to each other. And we had conversation. And again, in today's generation of social media with Instagram and Twitter, sometimes just genuine conversations are the best thing for a team. And that's also a part of a look. And then like Annie just said, and I'm going to give a big shout out to her. That was the leading scorer in the SEC last year. But what you just heard is she loves playing with her other teammates who are very good. And when you have teammates who are saying they're so privileged and happy to play with others, now you got a team. And now you got a look.
Andrew,
so talk to me nicely.
Andrew Mentok, Associated Press. Given the size advantage that you had, and I think Coach Flannery even talked about that yesterday in his press conference, did you expect to get so many open looks from deep early in the game like you did? Is that something you kind of game planned for?
Yeah, we expected it. Again, I got to give a shout out to my staff. I can't say enough good things about them. They are working so hard behind the scenes to make me look good. We probably watched 9 games in less than 24 hours. We broke it up, and we watched how different coverages on other opponents who had bigs and how they doubled down and what they had to do to try to disrupt from the inside. So they did a phenomenal job putting a video presentation to give visuals to my young women. I thought they saw the reads that we showed them in the hotel room, and they made plays. And most importantly, made open shots.
Correct me if I'm wrong, was that a Gabe Lazo scout today?
Shout out Gabe Lazo.
I guess what is it about, the way he kind of breaks down film and whatnot when coming up with those scouts that has been so effective for y'all this season?
Yeah, Gabe's so passionate. He almost got a technical today, so he's got to be slowed down because I said, Gabe, he was on the court at one time, and that's my guy. But I said, Gabe, if you don't sit down, you'll be walking back to the hotel. All right? But no, again, it's just like the team. It's a shout-out to Gabe, but Gabe also has help. We're one unit right now, even my coaching staff. As much as the chemistry is going on with them, there's chemistry within us. We're learning each other. And like I've said, I'm a first-year head head coach. So with the leadership of Joy Williams, Muriel Page, Corey Irvin, and Gabe Lazo, along with Jimmy the Juice, the best managers in the house, all right? First of all, I hope somebody got on camera a picture of how good my guys looked. Okay, one of my guys actually broke his arm, all right, and we had to get him in a cast last night. So we working up here, okay? And again, there's no job too big or no job too small. I've got a village. Katie, my strength coach, one of the best strength coaches. We're just all bought in. We're all excited. I got the right people on the bus, and we're moving the wheels the right way.
Season high for most three-pointers made in a game with 11 today. Is that, I know you like that number.
Yes.
Is that something that you think, in an area that they didn't always excel in throughout the season, but what do you think about it today made them step up in that area?
Yeah, I think it's, again, when I was referencing me being a new coach, you got so many transfers. There's a DNA that has to happen. Even though we're playing basketball, you got to get confident in the offense. You know, I was teaching a lot. You know, if you reflect back early in the year when we had that losing streak, I told you all I was doing too much. I was adding too much. So we pumped the brakes. We just mastered the plays that we have had in. And I think you're starting to see a confident group because now they're not having to think. They know the reads, and now they're just making shots.
We have a question from Zoom. Go ahead, Gabriella.
Hi, Coach. At some point earlier this season, you said that you've been listening to Whitney Houston's "Want to Dance with Somebody." Where's that song playing now? You know, how's it feel to have two back-to-back, like very big wins?
Man, thank you for that question. Well, that song's playing right now in my head. All right, because again, I've been in this business so long. When you're a college coach, we live a different life than other people. It's a blessing, but also there's a lot of sacrifices. We don't have the same Christmases or Thanksgiving as a normal person. So when March comes, it's our Christmas. All right, so for me, it's the beauty of all the hard work, and you can see the prize. And if you can make people believe in your circle, no matter the good times or the bad, but understand how beautiful this can end, you just want to dance like no other and dance with somebody. And we're riding that wave, and boy, are we dancing.
Looking ahead, you've mentioned a couple times since you've been here just how some of these matchups at this site have been good for the women's college basketball game. Having Notre Dame, Mississippi State playing for a chance at the Sweet 16, obviously two teams who have played in a national championship. What does that mean for the sport and from your perspective?
Yeah, no, I think there's great storylines here. Again, I was honored to know that we were coming up here. I have a lot of respect for this place. I mentioned it multiple times. The people here are the nicest people. I'm not just saying that because I'm here. I've been coming here for 10 years, and I'm serious. It's like a treat like no other. Like the ushers, and people think I'm joking. They are the nicest people. Now, it'll be interesting to see how nice when we play Notre Dame they are to me. I'm sure, I've got to give a shout out to my Irish pub bar right down from the hotel. What's the name of that place, by the way? What is it? Oroix? Okay, somebody will help me out with that. Don't put that on Twitter, okay? But they were great. The bartenders and the waitresses are awesome. So when I go in there tomorrow, I doubt I'm going to get the same service. So I might be sitting in the hotel, all right? But again, I respect that. That's the beauty of sports. I think anybody who's learning me real quick loves to have fun. I'm having fun with this, but most importantly, my young women are too.
We have time for one final question before you go to O'Rourke.
You talked about how different the lifestyle of being a coach is, and just talking about that song there. It played during the game. I looked over and I saw your daughters belting out every single word. I think they had all of them memorized. What is it like to have the support of your three girls and your wife there right behind your bench just cheering you on the entire time? I'm sorry.
You get me with every good question. First of all, just like the people here are the nicest, she is the best question person ever. She's got me to cry twice in Starkville. And I'm not going to cry today. All right? No, it means the world to me. Again, gosh, you're going to get me. It's sacrifices. It's time, because I don't get the same time. Golly, you get me. With my family. So to have March Madness and be able to fly them up here, that I don't get to go to all the basketball games. I miss gymnastics. My wife is the best, and we just live for this moment. And, for them to be proud of me, and there's always guilt because I'm not there for them, but for them to have my back and cheer me like no other is the best feeling. And you got me. So I'm honored. Yep.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.